May I
Come
come
in,
sir?
Vikas. Come.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
ma'am.
Vikas. Have a seat, Vikas.
Thank you, sir.
So, Vikas, we meet. You are from Haryana,
Yes, sir.
eh? And you have done PS and IR,
Yes, sir.
okay? And your father is an agriculturist.
Yes, sir.
See, in agriculture, one of the major, apart from productivity, the second area of concern is marketing.
Yes, sir.
So, what do you think should be further done to improve agricultural marketing?
So for that we can take variety of steps. For example, we can use technology, the use of platforms like National Agricultural Market.
That has been done. ENAM is there, that platform is there.
Secondly, sir, we can go for contract farming, so that
Very good.
And thirdly, sir, we need to promote agricultural processing, so that the raw materials can be processed into finished products, and that can they can be exported for we
But
can
that
say wider
is that
markets.
the job of the farmer or the agriculturist? That is a intermediate stage which can be done by someone else. I'm talking purely from the viewpoint of the farmer.
Sir, when it comes to the farmers, they need to be very receptive to the new ideas that are being promoted by the government. For example, through the 3 farm laws that were being introduced by the government.
So you mean to say those 3 farm laws should be brought back?
Sir, they should be brought back, but with the consultancy and with the consensus with the farmers.
Consensus will never be there. I'm talking about only the farm law connected to agriculture marketing.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
there are 2 or 3 other important aspects which your appreciation of agriculture you will be able to answer.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more idea that is being pushed is that farm gate marketing. So
Very
that,
good.
Yes, sir.
That means you have read the draft agriculture marketing policy.
Yes, sir.
Hai na?
Yes, sir.
Because that's the only place where this phrase has been used.
Yes, sir.
Farm grade mark. Why did it take you such a long time to come to the one very integral component of the policy?
Sir, I got remind of it now.
Good, good. Now that you have reminded 2, 3 other aspects. Now
Sir,
that you have read the policy, I never talked in terms of policy, but now that you have read it, I am happy. Now tell me 2 or 3 other elements of it. Important ones.
So, sir, I need to
Cooperative farming.
Yes, sir. Cooperative farming.
Warehousing.
Warehousing. Yes, sir.
And uniform license.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
One single uniform license.
Yes, sir.
Which is very important. Okay, you've done PS and IR.
Yes,
Political science.
Yes, sir.
Has India now matured that we move from first past the post system to the proportional representation system, which is a better reflection of our voters' choice?
Sir, when it comes to the proportionate system of representation, it is very complex, and when it comes to democratic consciousness or the political consciousness among people, it is still very less, especially in the rural counterparts. So for catering to that particular aspect, we can use a blend of both the system, like that is in practice in France. They use both of the system in combination, so that people are represented more.
Can you elaborate a bit?
Sir, as per the best of my knowledge, the 75% of their representatives are elected by the first past the post system, and 25% of their representatives are elected through the proportional representation system.
So once you introduce it, that means the maturity is there, whether you do it for 25% or whether you do it for 100%.
Sir, but in that particular presentation system, there is multiplication of political parties, and the relevance of accountability gets reduced to the people. So in that particular
I couldn't get you. Relevance of accountability to the people, I couldn't get.
Sir, in that particular system, the people do not
and that means 100% proportional.
Proportional system. The people do not vote for representatives, they vote for political parties, and the candidates are not personally, we can say, accountable to the candidate, to the people. So in first part,
I will leave it at that because we are short on time.
Yes,
Economics, 2 or 3 concern areas. We know the positive aspects of the budget.
yes, sir.
Any 2 or 3 areas of concern in the budget? Positives we all know.
Sir, when it comes to concerns,
Because you have done commerce, you've done accountancy.
yes, sir. The capital expenditure has not risen proportionately
Very
in
good.
this year's budget, and secondly, sir, I would say,
Not risen at all.
sir, it has risen, but
No,
it
not
has
not over the B. It has risen over the RE, but not over the B.
Sir, I need to check about that
Okay,
particular
okay,
part, but I
okay.
know that it has not
Okay,
seen
but that's a
proportional rise.
point well taken, where
Yes,
it's
sir.
a question of figures.
Sir, secondly, due to the tax incentives that have been given, that tax exemptions have been made up to an income of 12 lakh rupees, it has resulted into less tax expenditure, and it has, we can say, increased our borrowings.
No, but what has been how much are they expecting from direct tax, the revenue?
Sir, as per the best of my knowledge, it is around
14 lakhs crores,
14 lakhs crore rupees, and
which is an increase over 11 lakhs. So that way they are not, it appears that there has been no negative impact.
sir, in direct tax we also take into account the corporate tax,
Okay.
so it could have been nullified.
Okay. Any other concern area? No, you are right. Both the points are very good points.
Sir, at present I'm reminding of only these two.
Okay. Thank you, Vikas.
Thank you, sir.
Because you are interested in international relations, you've taken PSIR.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about Mr. Trump having written a letter to Iranian Supreme Leader.
Yes, sir.
How do you see that? He is imposing maximum punishment
Yes, sir.
on Iran,
Yes.
maximum pressure.
Yes, sir.
And at the same time, he's writing, asking them to talk and negotiate on nuclear issue. He has himself walked out of JCPOA
Yes, sir.
in his first term.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? How do you make sense of it?
Sir, in his letter to Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei, he has said that let's talk about the nuclear angle between the relationship for the last time, and he has warned the Iranian regime that either you have one chance to negotiate a nuclear deal with us, or we will apply further sanctions, or will apply further pressure on Iranian.
No, in fact, he said military pressure,
Yes.
use of military, which will be detrimental to Iran. But
Yes,
then,
sir.
how do you assess it? You have described it more or less correctly, but I want an analysis. What is going on?
Sir, when it comes to this particular letter, it should be seen in the context of recent Iran-Israel tensions, and he wants to broker peace in the Middle Eastern region, as he knows that if Israel and Iran enter into confrontation, it could be devastating for the regional interest.
He's not talking about Israel.
Sir, what
He's
Israel?
talking about military campaign against the nuclear installations
Yes, sir.
by United States.
So, sir, Israel has been the focal point of Trump when it comes to Middle Eastern region, and it has been said that Israel is planning to attack the nuclear sites of Iran as Iranian nuclear program is going in full swing. So in that particular context, this particular letter is seen as a threat, or we can say as a solution to the threat that is being posed by the Iranian nuclear regime.
Yes, but contradiction between maximum pressure and this reconciliatory letter, sort of. Does it make sense to you?
Sir, it should make sense because we should give preference to diplomacy, and we can see it as a positive step in the relationship if Iranian regime
Is
comes
it
to
not going to confuse Iranians? On one hand, you are putting so much pressure on us. On another hand, you want us to talk.
Yes, sir, it is certainly going to create confusion in Iranians, but they should also see it as a positive measure in order to lift the sanctions that are being imposed on them, which is kind of devastating their economy.
Anyway, let's move on to something which merges BCom with IR. WTO
Yes,
is facing hard time. Why are people preferring bilateral or regional trade agreements to a global body negotiating on the basis of rule-based trade?
yes. Sir, when it comes to WTO, we can say headwinds that WTO is facing, like the non-function of appellate body of WTO, which is the central body of WTO in order to resolve the trade dispute, it is under deadlock. And secondly, sir, due to the arrival of populist leaders like Trump and the mercantilist policies or trade policies of China, the countries are going for more bilateral and regional trading arrangements, and they are preferring it over the global bodies like WTO.
Now, the global body, WTO's cardinal principle is MFN.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't talk about reciprocal tariffs.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think Mr. Trump's threat to impose retaliatory or reciprocal tariffs on everyone, including India,
Yes, sir.
has international validity in legal terms?
So when it comes to its legal validity, it is going to face litigation in WTO. But since its appellate body is in deadlock, and there has been no appointment of judges in that particular body, WTO can't do anything. Just litigation is going to pile up in WTO.
You are right, but what is the way out then?
So for way out, there is a serious need of reforms in WTO, and we have rightly made it a point in the last WTO summit also that we need a certain kind of reforms, fundamental reforms in the functioning of WTO.
Why is it the appellate body deadlocked?
Sir, it is primarily because of the deadlock imposed by the US on the appointment of new judges in WTO, as US is saying that China is using mercantilist policies in order to promote their trading interest over the interest of the Western countries. So in that particular context, they have blocked the appointment of new judges in the appellate body.
But then it should have been the first part of the strategy. If they have mercantilist policies, then there should be a dispute, and dispute settlement mechanism should be fortified so that the dispute can be resolved, and China told not to follow such policies.
Yes.
So isn't that self-defeating?
So in that particular context, Mr. Trump has less, we can say, trust on international bodies, and he wants to solve this particular issue with the bilateral tariffs. So
in fact, it's the other way around. Chinese mercantile policies are not cited as reasons. US has deliberately decided to dislodge the appellate body because it is likely to lose a lot of unilateral steps that it has taken to control its commerce.
yes, sir, their tariffs would also be challenged in WTO.
Exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Vikas, you are from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
The recent US deportation,
Yes, sir.
the majority of the illegal immigrants are from Haryana.
Yes, sir.
So, did you feel Haryana government has not taken proper measures to break the nexus or curb the illegal? Is there any provisions to act on this line?
Sir, the major route of donkey route of entering US from Haryana has been used by the illegal immigrants for a long time. But I agree on that particular point that the state government has not taken any, we can say, hard step to contain this kind of phenomena.
So any steps taken recently by Haryana government?
So recently the government is investigating the, we can say, the whole net of these illegal agents who sponsor or who use these donkey routes in order to, we can say, go for human trafficking of illegal immigrants into US.
Okay. Recently, the last government also introduced Haryana Registration and Regulation of Travel Agent Bill, but it was not, the bill failed to act as a act. What is the reason?
Sir, I need to study about that particular.
So recently, I think from today or tomorrow, the budget session, they are going to introduce this act. Do you know what are by enacting such act, it may help in curbing this illegal travel agent?
Certainly, sir, because these illegal agents have, we can say, sprang up all across the Haryana, and there is an immediate.
What is the root cause? See, why people are trying to go away from the state? Why can't the government does not address the root cause of the migration?
Sir, multiple factors are there. First is the push factors. High unemployment, agrarian distress are some of the push factors.
Very prosperous state like Haryana is it's close to Delhi, lot of industrial, facilities. So where the problem lies?
Sir, due to the lack of skills among the people, especially among the youth, it is the major reason that the youth is not getting employment in Haryana, and also, sir, due to the migration from the other states have resulted into less job opportunities for the locals. So that are the primary factors for unemployment. And when it comes to, sir, pull factors, the having a luxurious life, the American dream.
Now you got the point.
Yes, sir.
It is not that merely lack of employment, lack of skill,
Yes, sir.
lack of money, these are all secondary. There is some kind of emotional attachment.
Yes, sir. The youth want
For
the American
want
dream.
to go to the US dream, Uncle Sam dream, or just wanted to go fly away from the place.
Yes, sir.
So, if since you are also aspiring for a civil services,
Yes, sir.
so apart from enacting such act, which have some penal provisions in the form of jail or fine, that may not going to resolve the problem holistically. So, think and tell me, if you are posted as a very important officer in this particular direction, so what kind of recommendation that you make?
So for that, I will recommend to go for decentralized industrialization, so that we can create industrial clusters at the local level to provide meaningful employment to the youth. Secondly, sir, I would recommend to go for agrarian reform, so that we can make our agricultural sector more profitable. And thirdly, sir, I would push for more skilling of the youth, so that they can find good paying jobs in Haryana itself.
Is there any need to change the attitude and aptitude of the youngster who are dreaming to go such? For that, what we'll do?
So
The policy what you talked about, it's already happening.
Yes, sir.
All agrarian reforms, decentralization of the industrial clusters. Haryana Industrial Development Corporation has done so many things
Yes, sir.
to attract, to lure the youngs
Yes.
to get a proper employment. But the problem something different. It's a psychological. So for which what we need to do?
So for that, we need to carry out behavioral change among the youth. We need to tell them that you should look other side also. Since you are entering US or these Western countries illegally, there are repercussions.
Can't
and
we make a case study and try to make a movie or some kind of values? How these people are suffering when they go through donkey route. Passing a Panama jungle is not the easy.
Yes, sir.
You are costing your life.
Yes, sir.
So some kind of information dissemination has to be there.
Multiple documentaries and movies have been made.
It's an extension, creation of awareness
Yes, sir.
through impactful medium. Not simply writing a book or writing in the paper does not resolve.
Yes, sir. There has been a movie
How can you use social media as a tool in this regard?
So for that we can get the social influencers which are very much impactful in the society in order to tell the truth of these illegal migrants, especially to the youth. And secondly, sir, we need to curb the, we can say, the aura which is being built about the Western countries or the American dream on the social media.
Okay, thank you, Vikas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Vikas, somebody once stated that some decades nothing happens and some weeks decades happen. Do you know who made this statement? It is pertaining to whom?
Sorry, ma'am, I'm forgetting his name, but I have definitely heard this
Mr.
statement.
Lenin.
Yes, ma'am, Vladimir Lenin.
Okay. Now tell me, is this statement presently holding any kind of relevance in present scenario, especially in terms of international relations?
Yes, ma'am, because
Aren't decades happening?
yes, ma'am, the arrival of Mr. Trump has changed the world order drastically, and he has turned the developments that have been taken place in the past upside down. And his policies on Ukraine war, the war in Middle East, and the rules-based order, primarily the international organizations. For example, he has withdrawn US from the Paris deal and other global bodies.
So tell me, what are the three key geopolitical events or geopolitical, things which have changed, which are somehow changing every day, very dynamically?
Ma'am, due to the arrival of Trump, first is the deglobalization. Countries are taking more mercantilist approach. Secondly, ma'am, the rules-based world order is facing kind of headwinds because of the decision of Trump to pull US out of WHO and other bodies. And thirdly, ma'am, I would say that his approach to Middle East is changing the, we can say, the face of Middle East altogether.
Okay, let's talk about Middle East. What is happening in Israel, Gaza?
Ma'am, this particular conflict is decades old, but in recent times the new Israel-Gaza war has been stopped due to the peace plan proposed by the Donald Trump. But
is it stopped? Or a ceasefire is here?
Ma'am, there is a ceasefire, but in recent times the Trump, I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, he has threatened that either Hamas free all the hostages of Israel, or we will.
Are you sure he said all the hostages of Israel or something else?
Ma'am, he has talked about the hostages, and also he has proposed that we should make Gaza a Riviera in the Middle East, and we need to shift the entire population of Gaza to the other Arabian countries.
That is said sometime back, like about 2 weeks or so. So, what do you foresee? Will peace come to Israel and Gaza issue?
Ma'am, when it comes to this particular issue,
what are the key demands of Gaza? Let's say vis-a-vis the peace process, and what are the key demands of Israel?
Ma'am, on the behalf of Israel, they are saying that we want complete elimination of Hamas from Gaza Strip, and we want the complete, we can say, removal of arms or ammunitions and other weapons from Gaza Strip.
No, right now, second round of truce talks.
Yes, sir.
They have been stalled for some time, but before that, the second round was supposed to begin, and there were some key demands from Israel's side. Tell me very precisely what were the key demands from Israel's side, and what were the key demands from Hamas?
Ma'am, Israel demanded that our hostages should be freed by the Hamas, and the bombing from Hamas or the firing of rockets from Hamas from Gaza Strip should stop. And Hamas demanded that the Israeli bombardment or the carpet bombing by Israeli forces should stop. And they have created a corridor in the Gaza Strip, in the middle of Gaza Strip, and they wanted the complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from that particular Gaza Strip and that particular corridor.
You're still missing one or two key points anyways. Let's say if tomorrow we have to talk about Israel-Gaza, so we have to sit down and talk about the permanent solution regarding Israel-Gaza issue. What would be the 6 stakeholders according to you? Who would be the key stakeholders in this whole process? I can tell you 3. One is Israel, one is Palestine, and one is US. Tell me the another 3.
Ma'am, another three I could think of is first is
Make a very wise decision. Think about it and tell me.
First would be the Arab world.
Arab world is too big. Tell me the name of the country.
Okay, ma'am.
3 countries you can pick and choose. Now choose.
Ma'am, Saudi Arabia,
Okay.
Egypt, and Jordan.
And UAE?
Ma'am, UAE kind of signed the Abraham Accords with.
UAE has always been a key partner. You forgot UAE.
Ma'am, you told me to pick the 3 most crucial because Jordan.
That's what I'm giving you my argument that you forgot a more crucial country, that was UAE.
Ma'am, in this particular conflict,
Jordan has not even figured in much of the things.
Ma'am, because Mr. Trump has suggested that most of the Gaza inhabitants should be shifted to either
So
to
you
each.
are in favor of this kind of shifting plan?
No, ma'am, I would subscribe to the 2-state solution that is being proposed by our
And Jordan
government.
has categorically stated that they won't take it. Egypt and Jordan have been categorically saying that we are for a 2 states, 2 nation
Yes, ma'am.
solution.
Definitely, ma'am. And UAE is also a crucial stakeholder.
Okay. Now, recently Mr. Pulela Gopichand gave a statement that the sports person should, the middle class should think twice before sending their children into sports. What is your opinion? You come from Haryana, a state known for sports culture and sports persons. So tell me, how much do you relate to this statement?
Ma'am, though his concerns are valid given the situation that we are facing, but he should also see that we are creating opportunities in sports to a great extent. For example, we are launching multiple leagues in Kabaddi, in Kho-Kho, which are giving a good amount of money or a good career to the sports persons. So in that particular context, we need to take this statement in a positive light, and we need to improve the job opportunities or the career opportunities for our sports persons.
What 3 things could you suggest other than this leagues and everything? Let's say if you have to actually suggest regarding this issue, what 3 things can be done? Let's say once their career is over, sporting career is a very limited time period career. So what 3 things which need to, if you have to suggest to Government of India, what 3 things would you like to suggest?
First, I would like to suggest that we need to improve our sporting infrastructure so that in making of an athlete, less expenditure by the family can be incurred, so that the family could be encouraged to let their children to pursue sports as a career.
No, that's okay, but now they've retired. That sporting infrastructure is not much of means to him. But okay, I take your this logic that before that it would have helped. Anything else?
Secondly, the corporate sector needs to come up and they need to sponsor the sports person, and they need to give them jobs in their organization. So
let's say they give, the corporate sector will come to you and tell you that how I'm a profit oriented industry, how I'm going to survive if I'm going to give them job. They have to work.
Under corporate social responsibility, they can sponsor the sports persons. And thirdly, ma'am, I would suggest.
Anything else? Can you think of any suggestion, any solution? Balancing both things, giving them a job and also not, tinkering with the capabilities.
And ma'am, when it comes to the sports as a career, we can look at the US model where the sport as a career has a bright prospect for any individual.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Vikas, when is your interview?
Sir, 2nd of April.
Have you given any UPSC interview before this?
Sir, 2 interviews.
How much did you get?
Sir, in 2022 I got 176 and in 2023 I got 162.
How come you are not making it? Just wait outside, we'll call you in a minute and give our feedback.
Thank you.